don't have to look so much at my head being cut off. I welcome you very much to the webinar tonight. I'm hoping that the gentleman will join me here shortly. We have a little bit of delay on their end, but we're going to get started here because I really want to share some value with you about how NPN can really help you, regardless of whatever kind of business you have, move that forward, help you get to your goals quicker. There's a lot of reasons that NPN works well for building a business, and I'm going to go over some of those. And I'm going to do it in two different perspectives, because if you have a brick and mortar, it's great because you need all these tools, because even if you have a brick and mortar, you still have to build a little bit online usually. But even if you're not building it online at all, you still want to have a way to collect contact information from your customers as well as prospective customers, which requires you to have an autoresponder and be able to use that. But in addition, you also want to be able to track your marketing. So if you have a campaign, a marketing campaign, even if you are putting newspaper advertisements in, you want to know, I put 3 different newspaper ads in this week. Which one generated this telephone call? Which one generated this sale? And the only way to do that is to track it somehow. So NPN has those tools so you can actually take a link, take a piece of information from each ad, put it in the tracking tool, and then when someone comes, if they're coming in on through your website, for example, as long as they're clicking a link on a website and getting to you, then you can track it. We can track it with NPN software. So there's lots of great things. I'm going to share some of those with you tonight. But I invite you, if you have any questions, just get a hold of me by leaving me a comment, or I'll give you my contact information at the end. And you're gonna get excited because it's gonna open up whole new avenues. Now, if you're online, if you already have a virtual business or an online business, whether you're an affiliate or a network marketer with a company already, but you need to kind of step it up a little bit, I'm going to share with you. And this is my passion, this is my niche, but I just closed a brick and mortar, so I have a really unique perspective of how each one works. So if you are already in the online space, you're a MLMer, you have a company of some type, maybe they're not really into the online marketing at this point, maybe they're still the elbow-to-elbow hotel meetings, meetup groups, things like that, but you want to take your business a little bit more to the online space. So then I'm going to share with you how NPN can help you do that without breaking any kind of terms that your company has, because it's not a network marketing company. Let me repeat that. Global NPN is not a network marketing company. It does have an affiliate plan around it, but it's not MLM. So it's not going to be, if your company says you cannot have 2 MLMs at the same time, you don't have to worry about that. It's just a tool that you can use to help you build your main primary company faster. And I'm going to share with you a few ways you can do that. So those are 2 of the things we're going to go over. And I want to give you some comparisons, because if you're already using tools like NPN has, like an autoresponder, a tracking service, hosting, video hosting, or cPanel hosting, or audio hosting, or link rotators. Maybe you've got a website you're paying, or not a website, but a blogging platform that you're paying that's not self-hosted on your cPanel, maybe a WordPress that you're self-hosting, but maybe you've got one like a done-for-you website, or maybe you're not techie and you just want to have a place to go and have a home base without having to do any of the technical stuff. NPN has a blog that's already ready to go. Basically, you click a button to set it up once, and then you get on there and you start posting. It's so easy. It's like the big green easy button, or is it red? Whatever color that big red. I think it's red, that big red easy button. So those are some of the tools. I'm not going to go into really big depth on the tools tonight, because I just want you to get the overall concept, and then I invite you to ask me questions. Let me just take a drink here, because the best way for you to really get to know a product and a service is to ask the questions that pertain to your business, what you're promoting, see if the features of NPN can help you. But I can tell you from using it for, wow, I think three and a half years now, that there's some amazing features with this product suite. So, excuse me, first of all, let me share with you how NPN can help you if you already have a network marketing company you're promoting or a big affiliate product you're promoting, and give you some perspective, because sometimes you don't think of these things until it's a little bit too late. So one of the scenarios that happens sometimes in the online space is you've been involved with a company for a while and you're all excited about it, but then something happens within the company. Maybe there is an ownership change, maybe the compensation plan changed, and all of a sudden your income took a dive. Whatever the reason, whether it's on the company side or on your side, you part ways. Sometimes the companies just don't make it and they close down. We often have this excitement to join this brand new opportunity, but like any other business, the chances of survival for a new company are very, very slim. And just to get past the first year is huge, but then you have to get past the fifth year and then on. Global NPN has been around for 10 years now, so it's definitely stable and it's not going anywhere. And I'm going to tell you right now, one of the ways you can utilize that to your benefit in case something happens with your primary, you don't want all your income vanishing. Having just a primary opportunity and all your income is coming from that is like having a job, having a one income in your household. And this happened to me back in 2008. My husband and I had just started building our brick and mortar business. I was working full time as a sales consultant at an auto dealership. My husband is a plumber, still is. So we were both working full time. Plus on the weekends and every free hour we were driving an hour and a half to build our vacation home rental business in Wisconsin Dells. We were really, really busy. But what happened was, by October of, let me think, somewhere mid-October 2008, I got called into the office of the GM and I was let go. I was fired, and it wasn't anything I had done. It was just that I worked at a Saturn dealership. The General Motors line was in trouble and they were bleeding, and they just started laying people off. It was a mass layoff. It wasn't just me, it was a mass layoff. And so without notice, and I bet you know someone that this happened to if it hasn't happened to you, I was given an hour to get out of the building. And I mean, all he had to say to me was, "It's not just you, Sue." Well, who cares if it's not just me? All of a sudden, we were missing that income coming into the family. And that same thing can happen to you if you're basing all of your income on one company. That company is nothing that you built. You're a independent contractor selling their products and getting commissions. So you need to be aware that that could go away anytime, or the compensation plan could change your monthly income from $20,000 to $5,000. I mean, I've heard horror stories about the compensation plan. So how do you insulate yourself from that? Well, one of the ways is to build residual income somewhere else. And I like residual rather than one time. Of course, I like bigger cash infusions of one-time payments one-time commissions that you've earned. But the residual is hey, I can count on, unless I have some really big changes in my customer base, I can pretty much count up my average monthly income is going to be between this number and this number. And it doesn't vary a lot because you've made sure your customers are happy. NPN tools are tools that don't really have a lot of attrition because you don't change your autoresponder very often, right? You don't change your hosting very often. You don't change out your websites very often, so you don't want to be changing hosting around. So as long as you get in and help your customers, let them get set up and they start enjoying the tools, which are great tools, they're not going to be jumping all over. That gives you stability and a secondary source of income. So how the payments work if you're an affiliate of Global NPN, and this is something you want to share with your team for your primary opportunity, because you want them to have these tools, and there's over 100 training videos in the back office as well. So you can plug them into tools and training, and that takes a lot of stress off you trying to do everything and kind of putting a wrench in your own personal building time. So you join NPN because you want the tools and you want the training, and you want to be able to have something to plug your team into so they can get the autoresponders, they can get the video hosting, they can get the screen recording, they can get the tracking tools, they can get the tracking rotator, or the link rotator, excuse me, and all the other stuff, and have the training to know how to use them and be excited because you shared that with them. So how it works is, we'll go over the pricing a little bit so you can see what value you get, because you're going to save yourself a lot if you're building a big list, because there's only one price with the autoresponder. There's not get to 10,000 subscribers and all of a sudden the payment is completely huge and you can't afford it. I see Rod just jumped on, so we'll have him up in a minute here. You're going to love how you can save money with the NPN tools, but you have to think that by growing an affiliate, hi Rod, I'll introduce you here in a second. Let me just, why don't you, if you could do me a favor and mute yourself out, and then I'll have you come up in a second. That would be great. Let me click on me. So what happens is you can introduce your team to these tools, and then not only are they happy because they have the tools that are going to allow them to build their business, it's taking some of the stress off you, but at the same time, you're able to gain a commission, a monthly commission. It's a recurring commission because it's a. Do you hear it? Do you see the mute button at all, Rod? If you click on the here, let me see if I can mute you. Hang on. There's a little arrow. If you scroll over your name, you should see. Do you see a little arrow up in the right-hand corner?
It just says live.
Okay, let me see if I can do it. Let's see if I can mute you.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm not sure if I got you or not. Let me see. I don't hear anything. I think I might have gotten you. Okay, so we're going to bring Rod on in a minute. Rod just actually joined NPN, and he's getting to know the tools and our community, and we're going to invite him on because I want you to get some perspective from someone who hasn't been using the tools for 3-4 years now, that's just getting involved, and have their perspective of how the community is, how the tools are, and just a newer person's perspective. And we're going to get to Rod in just a second. But to finish this thought about how you can utilize the tools to not only insulate and give yourself a secondary stream of income, because these are subscription payments. When you have a customer of NPN, and that customer can be a team member or anyone else owning a brick or mortar or any other business owner that needs these services and these tools, when you have a customer, the customer pays NPN every month, and you as an affiliate would get a commission every month. Now the commission's up to $100 a month. So if you have 10 customers, that's potentially up to $1,000 a month of some extra recurring residual income that you can count on. And then if something happens with your primary company, that's just a lot of security in your mind, knowing, okay, that would be terrible if that happened, or if they changed the compensation plan, but at least I know I've got this company with a 10-year track record, paying on time, having the confidence that these tools are rock solid, they work, and I can feel good about promoting them. So that's one perspective of Global NPN if you have a primary company already. And the other one, we already kind of went over it, if you have a brick and mortar, that you still need to be using these tools to not only start building a list so you can communicate any specials you have going on with your company. Send out, it's kind of like having an autoresponder if you have a contact relationship management software now. It's in one respect it's similar, but rather than taking notes on your customers on it, you are able to broadcast to everyone at the same time, or to isolate individual people so you can send those messages. Maybe you're keeping track of birthdays or something like that, and you want to send something special, a coupon or something, you can just get on and send directly to that person. Or you can segment out your buyers versus people that haven't bought, and maybe send something special to the buyers, and kind of encourage people that haven't been in for a while with another offer. So there's great ways to utilize the tools. And when you sign up, there's always the opportunity to get in our community, ask questions. I like people to get in and share what they're trying to do with the tools, because we have so much knowledge in so many areas of marketing that someone's always got an idea to throw out toward you and help you out. So that's two things that we've already shared that NPN can address with you with your business, but there are so many more, and I want to talk about how it can save you money if you're already using it. Then I'm going to have Rod come out. I'm going to take a quick sip of water. I have been making videos all week, and my throat is just completely dead. I have this opportunity this week, 2 different opportunities under one big umbrella, and they both require me to make these videos, and I'm always long-winded on my videos. So I had a challenge to get all this information into 1 minute, and it was killing me. I think I had to make 2 videos. I did 50 tries to get the 2 videos in the amount of time. And while I was cutting the one video, and isn't this what always happens, I was going on a roll. I was going to make it on time, and this deer ran through behind me, and because I was outside, and it completely distracted me because I'd been waiting and waiting for the doe to bring her fawn through the yard, and she came walking behind me, and I was recording, right? I'm looking at the camera, but I can see out of the corner of my eye, I can see on the viewfinder that this deer is behind me. And I'm trying not to look at her because I can see she's real nervous, and she's looking at me like this. I'm like, oh man, I bet you that's the mom. And have you ever heard a deer? I bet Rod has. You know how Rod, shake your head if you've heard a deer that's making that snorting sound at you, and that like, she's out back there behind me, and she's just staring at me, and she's like, I don't know if she was talking to me or telling her doe to stay where it was, but I knew what she was doing because we've seen the doe in the yard. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to turn around, and I tried to grab my camera because I wanted to get her and see if I could actually see the doe, because it was down in the bushes a little bit, and it's short still. So I'm jumping up on this wall, and she's just like still, she's making all these snort noises at me, and she finally started walking away, and I didn't know if her little one was over here or over here, and she was trying to guide me away, because a lot of times they will try to take you in the opposite direction, and the snort is to tell baby over here, to tell Bambi, you stay there, I'm going over here, and try to keep this predator, I'm like, I'm not a predator. I'm whispering to her, it's okay, I like you, I'm not going to do anything. She of course doesn't know what I'm saying, but I just wanted to see the fawn, actually see it. So today, and I'll get back to the subject matter in a second, but this is funny. So today, after watching and watching, I looked out my window, way out. We have the border of our property is right next to a cornfield, and I look out and I see her with the fawn just on the edge of our property. And I wanted to see her. I didn't have my glasses on, so I can see, but it's a little fuzzy. So I went to grab my binoculars, and I'm running over them like, you know how when you put binoculars up, you're like, well, okay, now I've got them up, but where's the thing I'm trying to see? And by the time I found her in the binoculars, they were in the cornfield. So all I saw was tall and short, and I never really got to see how big the fawn was, or how big the spots still were. Like, dang it, I missed her again. And I keep doing that. I keep just missing her. So it's kind of been fun this week. Multiple deer running through the yard during my video take. So I probably had to do an extra 5 video takes this week just because the deer have been running through, distracting me, and I just love them. So I was like, oh, deer, oh, a deer, you know, I was like, dang it. And then when I went to go and get the actual videos to post, I accidentally erased my deer footage. So I never even got the footage that I stopped recording to record them. So I'm still working on getting a recording, which I'm going to share somewhere. So if you're on my list and you're watching this, look for that. I'll let you know. So let me show you back to NPN. We're going to get Rod up here in a minute. I know it's Friday night and I don't want to keep you guys forever, but I do want to share with you some pricing because it's important to know when you're considering a product how much value there is. And I love the value in NPN. Now, NPN, there's a couple of reasons, and you may be able to relate to this, that if you've been in the marketing industry, you probably have an autoresponder over here, you have hosting over here at a different company, maybe you have an ad tracker over here at a different company, and then you have all these other tools. But they're all at different companies, and you try to get them to work together. And they don't always work. Either the form code doesn't work with this other tool, or the link isn't right to work in this piece of software, and it's frustrating as all heck, especially if you're not a technical person in the first place. So that's another reason I like NPN, because the same person programmed everything and he made sure it all worked together. And so just so you, what I did was, and I've got actually a video about this on my website, but I want to go over this a little bit. So if you have a pen and a paper, you can write this down. But global NPN, okay, I'm going to write it down too, because I want to make sure I get it. But global NPN, one of the biggest money savers for you is the autoresponder. So I'm going to tell you real quick about the autoresponder. It's a fully functional autoresponder like Aweber, Get Response, Constant Contact, all the other ones that you can send out to a list regardless of whatever size it is. Now, you know you need to be building a list, and that's really important. I made the mistake for such a long time of building other people's lists, sending my traffic directly to the link without capturing the email in between. Very, very big mistake on my part. I missed so much. I spent so much money building somebody else's list. It was like I was so stupid to not realize that. And so I don't let anybody ever do that again, because it's just a fatal flaw, something that a lot of people make the mistake of doing when they first come online and they don't know any better. You don't realize how much your list is going to mean to you later on. So it's really important not to do that. So why do you want to start building a list with NPN versus, and I don't mean to cut any of these other places down, so I'm not going to say their names, but I'll just say another autoresponder provider. Well, for one thing, you may have noticed if you have an autoresponder, they're all set up, almost all of them except NPN are set up, the pricing is set up by the number of subscribers that you have on your list. And usually it goes 0 to 500 is one price, that's the entry price, and the entry price is usually between, if you pay for the full year, it might be $12 or $15 a month. Usually, though, people don't want to pay for the full year, so you're going to go on the month-to-month. So you're looking at, and I just double-checked my pricing because I wanted to make sure I was right on this tonight. So I went to, we'll just say the one that starts with an A. I went to the one that starts with a GR, and I went to the one that's a CC. Okay, I went to 3 of the big ones. And so one of them for the first group, up to 500, was $15 a month. One of them was $20 a month, and one of them was $19 a month. So pretty close there. And you're thinking, well, that's not that bad, right? Okay, then the next grouping is 501 to 2500. I think that was on all of them. Let me make sure. Oh, the one company, they go up to 1,000 before they jump you up. but then the next break is 2,500, so it doesn't make that much difference. So the next group, 20 up to 2,500. One was $25, one was $29, and one was $35. So a little bit more, right? Then you start, and you may think that sounds like a lot, but you will build to that very, very quickly once you get active. If you're not, then the next grouping is usually 501 to 25, or let me make sure, or no, sorry, let me look down. 2,501 to 5,000. Let me make sure that's the same with all of these. Yep. Yep. So I think they were all the same as far as the numbers. So up to 5,000. One was $45. One was 30. One was let me make sure here. 25. So one was $30. One was one was 45, one was 30, and one was 55. So it's starting to get more. Now it doesn't jump up drastically until you get to 10,000 subscribers. Then it goes through the roof. In fact, after you get to $10,000 or 10,000 people on your list, so basically at 10,001, most of them say contact the company, and you know what that means, like, oh my gosh, it's going to be really, really expensive. Now, how does NPN compare? NPN, there's no pricing like that. You can have as many subscribers as you want, and it's exactly the same price. You're not limited on how many emails you can send out. It's fully functional, and there's some great things that you can do within there, just like you can with some of the other ones. You can actually see where are people coming from. So there's geolocation in there. You can segment them out. So if you want to send to a certain group, I have a thing going on right now with a marketing piece I'm doing where I only wanted to send to the people that had opened up certain emails. So I segmented those people out, and now I can shoot off emails just to that group as a reward. I'm trying to make sure that I'm rewarding my subscribers that are active with me. So I've got them segmented, and I let them know I'm going to segment you into a special group, and you guys are going to get special opportunities because you're responsive to my emails. So you can do things like that. But there's basically, there's a lot of things from tracking to see who opened, of course, who click the link. So things that you're already used to doing, you can do. But the thing is, you're going to save yourself a lot of money as you start building your list. Now, that's just one of the tools. So let's say you were up at, when you get up to 5,001 to 10,000 on one of the autoresponders, you're at $65. Another one, you're at $69. And then the third one, you're at, wow, you're at $85. Okay, so just remember those numbers. So 85, so we've got 65 up to 85. Okay, just remember that number. I want to do some math here with you guys. So I'm going to write 65 to 85. And that's for a not a huge list, but a list that you could get to fairly quickly. Okay, so that's 501 subscriber, 5,001 subscribers. Okay, so then you look at hosting. Okay, you may have hosting already at HostGator, GoDaddy, some of the other ones. And I'm talking about full cPanel hosting so that you can put your WordPress blog on there or host any of your domains on there. That usually is going to cost you somewhere around $9 a month. So let's put down $9 a month. Now, the next thing is video hosting. Now, video hosting often goes by bandwidth, which I do not like. It sounds like a huge amount of bandwidth. I do a lot of videos, so I know it's not a lot of bandwidth. And you can eat through bandwidth so quickly. A lot of people will go to YouTube, host their videos for free, but the problem with that is, as you know, a lot of times you don't have one bad thing and they shut your YouTube down. You don't have any control over that. It happened to me before. And it hasn't happened to me for a while, but it took me 3 years to get my account back. And by that time I had started another channel, and now I actually use the second channel more, because by the time I got it back, it was so outdated, and it wasn't anything that I had done. Actually, he said, "Oh, you didn't break any term of service," but it was a hater out there. Sometimes you get a hater because they don't like your company. They don't like the company I was promoting, because there was a lot of people just bashing all of us in that company at the time. So they said something. YouTube doesn't really pay that much attention. They come in and they close down your account. The other thing you notice is if somebody's watching your video on YouTube, at the end, what do they always do? They show similar videos that aren't yours, so that your competition's video could pop right up next to yours, and they might have a better video than you, and they go buy from them. So that's another thing with YouTube. So having your own hosting is kind of nice. And with NPN, you can host 1,000 videos at the gold level membership, and that's a lot. And it doesn't matter how long the videos are. So it's not based on bandwidth. So you don't have to be afraid to how many times people are watching your video, which is really, really great. The other thing is, up in the upper right corner, you click on it, they're going to go find out more about NPN, and if they buy anything, it's going to get credited to your account. So you could be earning commission just from using your video hosting without actually doing any additional work. All the tools are actually like that. If anybody ever clicks on a tool, they buy anything, they'll first find out about you, they'll go to your information, but then they'll actually, if they buy anything, it'll just credit to you. They're going to be a customer of yours, which is kind of nice. It's just a little extra thing that sometimes generates sales for you without you doing any additional work. So we talked about the video hosting. Now that can be really expensive, but I'm just going to give it a modest price of $30 a month, because I checked this a few months ago, and the video hosting was dang expensive, and that's about the starting price. If you find something lower than that, it's such a small amount of bandwidth, you can't even do anything. So far we've got 50, 30, and 9. So we're at like $89 already, and we haven't even talked about most of the tools yet. So another thing we have is a link rotator, we have a screen recording, we have a tracker, we have a blog that's already ready for you. The hosting also covers that's audio hosting. It's not as much audio hosting, so you can't do a lot, but it definitely has audio hosting on there. So if you've ever used SoundCloud or something like that, it's a similar thing. You're able to record something, upload it, and then have a link that you can share out that has your audio on it. So we're on $89 already and I'm not going to go through all the rest to give them a value, but you can see if just on 3 tools, we're already at $89 that you'd have to pay for these tools, and not getting as much as you're getting with Global NPN. So you'd have to upgrade if you were actually using those tools. Now, if you take into consideration all the other things that I haven't priced out for you, when you consider that you can get everything Global NPN has to offer, plus you're going to be an affiliate and have the ability to share it with your team or share it with someone else that you have out in the community that you have a relationship with, and you want to just share something you're excited about so that they can utilize it. You give them your link, they make a sale, you generate a commission. All of that's covered in a one-time price of $149 a month. And you can see what a value that is, because you are not only getting the ability to make sales, but which if you make 2 sales at that $149 level, you've already generated yourself $200 a month income. So you're at a $50, you've made a $50 above what your payment is a month. So you get excited about these tools, you're using them anyway, you start sharing them, you start generating above and beyond what your monthly cost is as a customer. So you can see why I love these tools and why I promote them. But in a second, right now, actually, I'm going to actually bring Rod out, because he just joined as an affiliate customer, because we're all customers, we're all affiliates. And we have some extra perks that we have as a team of affiliates building NPN that we share with you when you join at $150. And it's really high level marketing training that we have, as well as tools and software that we share with our customers that are above and beyond what you get with NPN. And we do that because we want you to have more and more and more value and more assets that you can use to build your business. So Rod, I'm gonna bring you out. I'm gonna mute myself, but before I do that, let me just ask that you please introduce yourself. Tell a little bit about yourself, what you're doing now, why you're online, and what brought you to NPN. As far as, I know how you found me, you've shared that with me, but rather than tell them that boring story about why me, why don't you share with them why NPN? What did you like about NPN that had you out there going, okay, I need to find somebody to join NPN with? And then if you want to, you can talk about our team and the benefits of actually joining our team within NPN, because it makes a difference. Because we have all these extras that I don't even know if you've had a chance to look at yet with your busy work schedule, but I want to hear your thoughts, and then maybe kind of do a little Q&A as you're talking after you talk, because I think it's really helpful for people to have a perspective of a new person. So I'm going to mute myself out, and if you have anything you need me to come back on for, I will. But let me just do that, and you have the floor. Hang on a second. I'll open you up. Let me see. Can you talk? Did I just mute you or unmute you? Okay, I think I muted you back up. Hang on. Can you talk now? I don't hear you yet. Hang on. Did you mute yourself? Because I don't hear you. Oh. Don't hear you.
How's that?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Yeah, my name's Rod. I'm from Ohio. I've been doing internet marketing off and on, just dabbling in it since about 2001. I sold a few ebooks, things of that nature, and I was basically looking to get into some type of program, membership type program that actually has residual income. Because if you look at all the marketers out there, the ones that are really successful are the ones who actually learn how to market and actually teach it. So when I was looking for NPN, or found NPN, Global NPN, I actually even knew who Sue's sponsor was actually before, but I knew she was involved in training and learning from this person as well. So there are a few people out there who are promoting it, but who are only just actually promoting Global NPN, but aren't doing any of the training. And I don't know if you guys have come across them or not, but that's just how I got started and found the program. Are you there? That's my dog.
Oh, wow, he sounds like a big one.
No, just he's a little English bulldog. But anyway, that's my story. I've like I said, I've sold ebooks. I had to click funnels, did the click funnels and synchronized it with the ebooks and everything. But without actually somebody teaching you, I just found out through YouTube videos on how to get everything synchronized. But this is a one-time, one-shot, I guess, for lack of better words, is it's one thing in the whole big ball of wax, I guess you could say.
Let me ask you, how much, because you've only been in for about a week now, how much have you ever even had a chance to dig in and set anything up yet?
A little bit, yeah. I actually have went through some safe lists and just set it and forgot about it. And I think today I had 84 hits on the link, the NPN builder link. So I looked a little while ago. So I probably have about 125 total for the last 3 or 4 days. So I just been doing the safe list. It's just not something I'm going to be counting on or anything, but it's, it's a numbers game, getting the product in front of the people, going through all the safe lists. There's actually a program called 10K Hits. If you sign up for that, you should probably get anywhere from 200 to 250 hits a day on it. So it's basically a numbers game. And then there's a list I come across, but I can't find it. It had a list of all the safe lists that you could put your site on. And it's something you really don't want to count on, but it's also something that you're getting your site out in the view of the public as well, though.
Well, safe list is one of those things where it's a really cold traffic, and it's kind of someplace just to, kind of like, I'll throw my dart out here, and if I get somebody, great, but it's not your meat and your potatoes, and it's not those quality connection-based individuals. And so, but the fact that you went to the back office, now, when you went to the back office, what did you think of the training that we have back there?
Oh, there's tons of it. Yeah, it covers, if you want to do the solo ads, if you want to, work the website, which I have another website that I have up now, which I'm going to do another website just specifically for global NPN. Solo ads, it has a safe list that you can actually do. There's just tons of training on how to set your autoresponder up, which all you got to do is click a button and it's synchronized. So, that's a change for me, rather than going through and grabbing the links and everything and hooking it up and then back testing it to make sure it works and everything. So there's a ton of marketing information back there, not to mention our Facebook group. I mean, there's tons of information on there. There's techie skills on there too. And that's the biggest thing when somebody's new and starting out, is learning how to set this all up. Okay, yeah, here, do your sales funnel, do this, do that. Okay, how do you do it? How do you get this to there? So
exactly. Well, did you come in? Yeah, you actually signed up through NPN Builder, rather than, because you can showcase NPN, the tools side, versus NPN Builder. And for those watching who don't know what NPN Builder is, it's a newer, completely done for you sales funnel that offers a free membership that then leads you into becoming a paid customer of NPN by sharing the value of doing that. And what Rod's talking about is the one-click setup. It was Jeff, who's the owner of the company, really designed NPN Builder to be something that, as a brand new person, it leads you through step by step, from being able to track your link and see where your traffic's coming from, without having any technical knowledge. I mean, it really is, okay, wherever you're going to put this link, give it a name that you're going to remember. So if you were going to put a Craigslist, you might put CL, or you could even write out Craigslist, and then that attaches that name to the link, and then you take the link, you put it over wherever you want to advertise, and then if somebody actually clicks on that link and becomes a person on your list, then you're going to see where that was generated from. So you can put more effort into those areas, but then you can actually go, and so Jeff's built in a series of follow-up emails that you don't have to figure out if you're a brand new person, just like Rod's saying. But then at the same time, it's building our list. It's not like I mentioned earlier before Rod got on, where sometimes you join an affiliate company, or you're promoting an affiliate product, and you actually, if you don't know this in the beginning, you go, oh, that's my link to promote. You grab the link, you go start promoting it, and what happens is, it's not good. Okay, this is you with your link. I'll show you in a second. Company. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to try. So let me see. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, okay, let me turn it. Let me get it in front of the camera. So basically, if you can see, you're on one side with your affiliate link that they've given you, the company's given you, and you grab that link, you go over to Craigslist or wherever, it doesn't matter where, or you just give it to a friend, and they don't join your company. But they've gone, they put their email in to get more information. It's always like that. They don't just give you the information. There's always an email. But the company, because they gave you this link, they are getting that email. So they're building a subscriber list that they can then go communicate with. And you had that one shot, you didn't get a sale, and then it's bye-bye. You don't have an opportunity to follow up sometimes when you do it that way. You know, NPN, you could do it that way if you're really lazy, but the owner of the company has made it super duper simple for you to go and click a button. Basically, it's like 1 or 2 little steps. You grab a form code. He has a video that shows you exactly how to do it. That sets it up so that when that person goes with your link and they put their name in, it's going to start building a list. So if Rod's talking about these 150, 200, 300, 400 people that are going through on his safe list, some of those people start putting their name in, rather than all those people going on to Jeff's list for him to promote to. They're now going to go on Rod's list so that he can go, and we're having a hangout like this, or we're having something else, you can say, hey, come on over and jump on my hangout. Or maybe there's some other complimentary product. But the biggest thing is for Rod to be able to have that opportunity to put his face in front of those people rather than the company owner or just the generic emails that the company owner is sending. Because Rod didn't share this because, I mean, I didn't want to bring me into it so much, but he shared with me that the reason that he joined with me was partly because he saw some stuff that we had in common. And that's really what you want to be doing with your list, is you want them to get to know you a little bit, not just business wise and how much value you can give on the business side, but also a little bit about your personal side. Like his dog barking, for instance. Well, now you know he has a dog, and hopefully that means he likes dogs. I have a dog too, and I'm going to say, man, oh, cool, Rod likes dogs too. And then that's an instant connection. You know, sometimes I will be out in the community and I find out someone's a veteran. Well, I'm a veteran too, and we don't need to know each other. We don't need to have been in the same branch of the military, but just having that knowledge that, oh, here's another veteran, it's just that instant connection. And then we just have that rapport right away, and that's kind of what you're looking for in your list. So if you didn't have that list, there's no way you're going to be able to build that rapport unless they're out there watching some videos and you're doing video marketing is really powerful that way. So it's really super simple for newer people, but it has the power for you to go and do all the standard stuff if you have that experience. And it's not going to take you that long because, like Rod said, in the back office, there's videos on everything how to do it. But if you get stuck, you look up Rod, and if he's too new because he just got started last week and he hasn't done it yet, well, then he says, Sue, I've got a new member. We have a question about setting up the autoresponder, and then I show you how to do it. I mean, there's always help available. My goal, and I know Rod's is as well, is to have you build a residual income with NPN that can be a source of income for you monthly that you can count on. Because aren't things getting expensive out there? They're just getting more expensive all the time. So if you can kind of insulate yourself a little bit and have a little bit more peace of mind that if I'm working this job still, and I even like my job, but it's just not paying me enough. There's a lot of people that love their job, but their job income is not enough for these rising costs. Meat's getting really expensive. Everything's getting really expensive. And you need to think of other ways to bring in income. And your income goals don't have to be $20,000 or $30,000 a month. Sometimes in this industry, we just assume everybody wants 20 or 30 or 40 or $50,000 a month, and that's really just not the case, because we're at those levels, at that 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month, which is potential. And income disclaimer, I'm not guaranteeing any kind of income here. The FTC doesn't allow that either. But my point is that your income goal, with those higher income goals, when you get to those, you have a lot of extra responsibility and stress that maybe you don't want. Maybe you just want an extra $2,000 a month. That's 20 sales, 20 happy customers. You can keep 20 people happy and still have plenty of time to live your life. So I'm saying NPN is a way for you to build a really decent residual income without a lot of customers. And we're here to help you do that. So if you're looking just to have some type of opportunity that you can be excited about, that you know it's a stable, solid company that's paid on time for the last 10 years, that's NPN. The thing I didn't point out earlier, and Rod can speak to this if you'd like to, Rod, is that if you've ever been in an NPN or an NPN, excuse me, if you've ever been in a network marketing company, or if you are now, and you have an auto ship, and let's say it's a juice, a vitamin, a pill, something that actually comes to your house every month. You know that if you're going to market those items online, that you have to go, in addition to paying for that auto ship, which could be upwards of $150 just in itself. Maybe the products are 120, but then you got to pay the shipping, so it ends up being 150. That's always what happened to me when I was in a network marketing company like that. So you're paying 150 for that, but then you decide, I don't want to do I don't want to go do hotel sales. I don't want to go to meetups. I want to sit in my pajamas and I want to work my business from home. Don't want to go out spending all my gas, running all over town. And so you go online figuring out how to market that network marketing company online, and you realize, well, now I have to pay for an autoresponder, hosting, tracking, all these things we just talked about. So there's another $89 a month on top or more of what you're already spending for your auto ship. So with NPN, if you don't already have a business, the beauty is you get everything you need with that one price. There's no more affiliate fee. The affiliate fee's in there, all the tools, and you're getting paid to sell the tools. So you're not buying one product over here and then having to buy things to market that product. It's all one price. Another way to save yourself money. And we already talked about, if you have a network marketing company, why you want to be plugging your team in. Over 100 training videos in the back office over all kinds of different marketing techniques. So if you're not familiar with how to do those techniques, you can plug them in back there. You don't have to keep showing the same stuff over and over. You can use the video hosting to make training videos for your team, and then you'll have the links to share. You don't have to keep going out there every time somebody has the exact same question, where you can be helping them in a different way. So there's all kinds of ways for you to utilize these tools, which I love, and that's what I've been doing with them. I make videos for my team. I make videos for marketing the opportunity myself. I make videos for other things that I offer out there online. So there's just a lot of ways to utilize NPN, but what I really love is our extra community. We have an NPN, Rod mentioned the group. We have an NPN Facebook group for NPN, but we have a secondary Facebook group that's only for our top level team NPN people, and that's where we have such value and all the extra goodies that I talked about earlier. So Rod, why don't you share with me, if you would, any thoughts that you have on the support that you've already gotten after joining, either from the NPN side, from getting into the community? I mean, did you feel like you were welcome when you got into our extra Facebook group that we have for our team? And it's not just for me, it's not just for people that I've sponsored. If you join with Rod or if you join with me into NPN, you still get this extra special Facebook group when you join at the $150 level, which is really cool. 10 people, you're at $1,000 residual income, so it's pretty cool to only need 10 customer sales to be at that level. That's awesome. So what do you think, Rod?
Well, I mean, I think it's great that, you know, not only do we have the support at Global NPN, we also have the Facebook group where, you know, you can, I was just scanning through it the other day just to see what some of the questions that were asked, and, you know, they were answered within, you know, a matter of minutes. You know, if you get hung up on something, you know, or not only that, is if there's somebody has a question, they can direct them to basically a PDF or a video that's already on file that probably could answer the question better than what they were going to type it on Facebook. So, and not to mention, you said a while ago about all the tools that they have. One of the things too, even if you don't want to promote global NPN, all the tools that you need to promote any other businesses that you have are all in a one package there. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to promote global NPN itself. But, you know, if you were going to actually do it, like you just said, the healthcare business, I mean, the emails and stuff like that, you can build your list in the healthcare market. I mean, it's, you know, all the training's there for that. So yeah, the support is just great.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter what kind of business you have, you need to have these tools in place. You absolutely need to track your marketing, because if you don't, you have no idea what's working and what's not working. Way back years ago, I had another business, a brick and mortar. My very first business that I had on my own was a carpet and upholstery cleaning business. And I remember this was back in like 1995, a long time ago. And you know, the internet wasn't even anything then. And it was just like in its infancy. So I didn't have I wasn't marketing online at all. It was all offline. And I was like, how do I find customers? So I was using the welcome wagon, if you've ever heard of that, where these ladies would take your coupon, and every time somebody moved through the area, they would take this big thing of coupons for all the businesses that wanted to get their name out there, and they would deliver these welcome wagon coupons. That generated some business for me. But the other thing that I had to do was actually go over to our paper and put in newspaper ads. And so I would get some calls off that. But think about newspaper versus building online. What happens? Somebody gets their paper Wednesday coupon day or whatever. They read their paper in the morning with their coffee. And then where's it go? Recycling bin. So if they don't see your coupon that one time, they're looking at the paper and cut it out, that was it. Not like online where you put it out there and it's there forever. So you have the opportunity to every day build more links, more bridges to your business. I had to rely on, man, I hope somebody sees that coupon and calls me so I can at least cover the cost, because it was pricey way back then to put it. It was like $50 back then, $50, $65. That little tiny ad about this big or this big, or just a little tiny ad. And so there were times when I would do that and I didn't get any calls. Then there were times when I did it and I would get a couple calls or 2 or 3 calls. But just because they called me doesn't mean that they hired me. Usually I did get the call. You know, I usually did get hired if they called me. But you hear that? Fireworks. There was just like a big, like, that's one of the reasons I love coming online and starting to learn how to market online. I'm like, wow, that's so much better that you can do a piece of marketing, a video or an article or something. If I had had the online then, I would have been writing blog posts about, you don't want to do this to your furniture, this is how you clean up this off your carpet. If your pet does this on your carpet, I would have had a blog and I would have had all this stuff that you can have now. And with NPN, if you want to have your own website, this is another error newer people make. And I'll tell you, it's kind of embarrassing now, but back in 2008, when we first opened our vacation home rental business, I really wasn't marketing online much. Back then, I wasn't full-time at all. I was still working my full-time job. I had done MLM, but it was all built offline before. So I always had the bug. I always wanted to. But I really wasn't very smart yet marketing-wise back then. And so when we opened our business and I am like looking all over, trying to figure out what am I going to name this business, and going on GoDaddy and looking for my domain and all this, I found the domain I wanted, but I wasn't smart in that I didn't know how to build a website at all. I didn't know WordPress existed and how to make my own web page based off WordPress. I didn't know that yet. So I went and looked for a company that could build my website. And I found this company that you actually built it through their templates, but they connected your domain up with the website. So what happened was I got the domain that I bought. I basically told them the domain I wanted, but then they ended up having control of the domain. So I didn't have the ability to go in and put a pop-up on top of my website later on when I had that knowledge, because I made the mistake of letting them control my domain. And every year I had to renew my domain, but I was basically stuck with them unless I paid this big fee to release my domain. I was like, well, that was not very smart of me. So now with NPN, because you're hosting, a full cPanel hosting is available, you will be able to get your domain, hook it up with NPN hosting. You have complete control over what you do with that. So you have yourname.com as your domain, but then you want to do a subdomain. For example, one of the things I can teach you is how to do your name slash, let's say you wanted to put a PDF, free PDF, and then you wanted to host that PDF on that. That's something you can do when you own the domain and it's hosted with private hosting that you control rather than another company. So even if you don't know how to do those things now, there are things that you're going to learn within our community, within the training of NPN, and there are things that I know how to do very, very well because I learned them within this community from my sponsor, from our community, and I love it now because I have so much control of what I can put whatever I want, whatever kind of page I want. I can host it on whatever domain I want, whatever subdomain I want. I don't have to worry about having to hire someone and pay extra for that because I have that knowledge, and you're going to have that knowledge within our team as well. It's just very refreshing to start having some of this knowledge, not only because it helps you when you do want to go out and hire someone and they start telling you this bull about it's going to be $1,000 and you're like, I know that takes you like 5 minutes to do that. So don't you think $1,000 is a little steep for that service? Just having that little extra knowledge in your head, it's like going to the mechanic and they're telling you some story that you know darn well is not true because you actually have the knowledge to do that service. You just don't have the time right now. So it's just being aware, learning things, be aware, things that can get in your way to be bottlenecked. It's just you need those foundational skills, and NPN and our community and the tools give you that home base. Think of it as a home base or a foundation to go and just run all different directions. Most of us in NPN don't just build NPN. Most of us have something else, or we may have started with NPN and then we have other things that we go and do. It's just the nature of the beast. You start acquiring this knowledge and then you're like, man, I know how to go out and build my own product now. I'm going to go do that. Or man, I'm going to take this knowledge and I'm going to go here. And but you never leave if you're a serious marketer because you realize the value of not only the tools and being able to plug your team into the tools, but also having our extra community. To me, the community is priceless. I know Jody jumped on yesterday or today, I can't remember, I think it was last night, and shared a really valuable piece of information. And then Craig jumped on, shared a PDF that was great, shared a lot of traffic sources with us that were really working. And I mean, last week we got some free training, a free training course that was really great. I watched it, and it was about creating your own product and building your list through different methods and just extras that we all like to share. So when we have something of value, we usually go drop it in that group for everybody in our team. That's why you want to join our team of NPN to share, because we're not like, oh, join me, or we're not like, oh my gosh. We want you to find someone that you can relate to and work with and feel comfortable with. And join that person, whether it's me, whether it's Rod, whether it's somebody else, but join our team. Make sure you join our team, okay? So let me just think, Rod, are there any things that you really want to share with someone who is either brand new or someone that has some experience? Maybe they have a website like you did. I don't know if you mind me sharing this. I hope you don't. But we were just communicating through a couple notes on Facebook before we jumped on here. And you said something, and I don't really know the details. Maybe you can share, maybe you don't want to, but you said something about, I asked you if you had a list, and you said something about having or not having a list. Do you, I don't know if you want to share about, you've been online for a while, but it sounded like you didn't have much of a list.
No, Actually, I did a lot of stuff on Craigslist.
Okay.
I did a lot of stuff on Craigslist. I belong to about 500 groups on Facebook. I started building one. I have actually a GVO autoresponder. I started doing right before I found Global NPN. I was planning on just getting into the solo ad business, but it seemed like that there were so many people getting bad raps for it that, you know, they're basically building their list off of each other. And I had the ClickFunnels all set up. I had the G responder that you mentioned earlier. I had that responder and I had it going. And when I found this, I thought, you know, the solo ad business really actually wasn't like a stable, it's a residual income, but not a stable residual income. So, you know, I would do some things here. You know, here and there with the Craigslist, you can actually set up Craigslist by changing your IP address and advertising through all the, you know, throughout the U.S. So I did some of that. Did the free ebook thing with an autoresponder, but that didn't capture very well on the Facebook, because if you look at the majority of the Facebook groups, you know, they may have 10,000 people, but how many other people like me have belonged to 500 different?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of pitch fest. It's like people throwing links in there, and there's not a lot of value. It's just like, here, click this, you'll get rich. Here, click this, you'll get rich. Oh, go here, I get a free this for you. But you know, it's just a ploy to get, you know, it's not like our private Facebook group where we don't share any links. We're not trying to get people, you know, to sign up for something. We're just there to share value. And there aren't that many groups like that on Facebook. You know, open public ones are not the ones you want to be in. It's the private special groups where the real training and the real networking and the real relationship building and the caring about each other, those are the ones that are harder to find. And those are the ones where they're priceless. They're really, really I have so many good dear friends in our family, our little family of our group within NPN. People that aren't necessarily that I've personally sponsored, just that because like you said, I've done some of the training, and I always like training. I like working with people, and I like getting to know people. And I found that I have a way sometimes of explaining a technical issue to someone in a way they can understand it, because someone else trained me. But then I went through the training, and I because I'm not a techie, I've just learned through trial and error. But because I had gone through it and learned it, but then as learning it, I would hit a hiccup, and I'm like, well, now what do I do? And I would have to go out and figure it out, and I would bang my head against the computer, or I'd bang my head against the wall. I'm like, for 3 days, I'd be stuck on this stupid little thing that later I realized was so easy. Like, you know, like sometimes you put a capital where computers don't like capitals, you know, so you're like, crap, that's what it was. I had a capital letter in there and it's supposed to be lowercase. I mean, some little tiny ridiculous things. And so when I train people, I always remember, listen, it's the littlest tiny step that people that have been doing it a lot and for a long time leave out, that throws the new people completely off track. So I would just go down to the most minute detail, and I would help people, and I would say, listen, these are some of the things that you might be leaving off that cause me problems. So make sure that you don't do this, or this, and just do it this way. And so I like getting people past technical hiccups, because I know how frustrating it can be. And those are sometimes the things that will make a person that could be a rock star in this industry quit before they can get started. And so I would take it upon myself sometimes to just say to someone who's somebody else, you know, because I've gotten so much support from someone, I would go, take one of their people and go, you know what? I can help them out with that. And I would just, don't worry about it. I'll help them out. And I think, hey, I heard you need help with this. And I would just invite them over and I'd help them out. And I'm perfectly okay with that. And there's other people in our community that will do the same thing. And so I love that camaraderie and that sense of, you know what? We just want to uplift our industry. We want to be servant leaders, and we just want to help people get to the next level and to stick around long enough to prove not only to ourselves that we made a good decision getting into this industry, but to prove it to all the people in our family and our friends and everybody else that's giving us grief because, oh my gosh, it's another one of those things, or oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You're spending all this time on the computer, and how much money have you made? And da da da, the things that we've heard ourselves or heard from other people, and that we know in our gut that this is the place for us, and I don't want people to quit before they have an opportunity. So I guess for me, trying to support people in the best way I can is a goal of mine, and it's one of those things where I look at a person, and if they're putting the effort in, if they're really putting the effort in, and you can tell they are, and they're just frustrated because they just can't figure something out, I will work with them, no problem. I will find a way and a time to work with them. But it's just the people that they say they're serious, but what they really want is you to do it for them. That's a totally different situation, because that's to me not helping them. I'm not teaching them how to fish that way. People need to learn how to fish to be in this industry. So there's a difference. I want people to learn the right way in this industry. So any final thoughts? It's getting up to about 9:30 our time. And I know we started a little bit late because of a technical hiccup. And so I want to ask you, Rod, if you have any final thoughts about anything, about words of encouragement of someone who's just thinking about giving NPN a try. We actually have how many days is it? I gotta think, because NPN Builder came in and kind of overshadowed it. We have a $1 trial for NPN. So I can't remember, I'm thinking how many days. I think it's 10 days. It's either 7 or 10 days, might be 7 days, but you get to come in, check out everything, check out our community for just $1. And what I think I'm going to do is I want people to have an opportunity to come in, look at our community, ask us questions, try out the tools, and to do it like risk-free, $1. And so I think what I'm going to do, I'll get with you after the hangout, and I'll get your NPN link. I'll get my NPN link. We're going to use the NPN tools. I'm going to put it on a rotator. I want you, if you're watching this and you want to give NPN a try for just $1 for a week, you can find a link somewhere on this page, and you're either going to have Rod as a sponsor, you're going to have me as a sponsor, but we're both going to work together to help you make NPN whatever you want it to be, whether you want to build a brick and mortar or your MLM and don't want to promote NPN, or if you need a primary opportunity and you want to come in, check it out and see if this is the right opportunity for you, then you'll be able to do that for $1 for 7 days. And then if you don't like it, you're gone, nothing, you lost $1. And if you love it, you'll be ready to rock and roll. You can get your autoresponder set up in 7 days. You can get all the tools set up and learn how to use them in 7 days. We have a 10-day fast start, and you'll be ready to rock and roll by the time your payment comes due. And in fact, by that time, you might have decided you love it so much that you're already out there promoting it to other people. And before you even pay full price, you could actually have your own team going. So your own team or your own customer base. So it's just win, 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 win. But if you have any questions, look us up. I'll put a couple of below. I'll put a link for you to get a hold of your questions, but I'll also put a sign up link for that $1 trial. And that'll, like I said, I'm going to rotate it between Rod and myself. I really appreciate, Rod, that you came out tonight, especially after working today. And so we're here to support you. We want you to win in this industry. We want you to grow whatever you're passionate about and have enthusiasm about. And NPN can help you do that, but it also can be your primary opportunity as you're starting out, and just be your foundation, because it's a great foundation and it's a low key. It's not going to stress you out. And the compensation plan is not like a network marketing company where you got, okay, so I've got to get 3 over here, 2 over here, and this is my pay branch, and this is my other branch, and I mean, those compensation plans can take you 2 years to figure them out, right? How you get paid in Global NPN, you get up to $100 per customer sale, and then you get a 5% bonus if you have customers of your own and they promote people. Whatever they have for a sales volume, they make $1,000. You get 5% of that each month, and as they build their income, your bonus. So you get your commissions every month, but you also get your bonus every month. As soon as you make, there's a couple little tiny qualifications for that, but after that, you're making your commissions every month, and you have the potential to earn commissions for helping your customer base, your customer/team base. It's just the way that the owner of NPN, something he put in place for you to be able to earn some additional income, but also as an incentive for you to help your team, which I think is a great thing. It's just a little bit more money in your pocket, and it's a way for you to actually make some real good money with NPN if you get out there and share this and do hangouts and tell people about it and show them how it works and answer questions. And just like you have to do with any kind of business, customers have questions, potential customers have questions. So if you have questions, we're happy to answer them. And if you just want to try out the offer of the $1 trial for 7 days, I'll put that link down below. Don't be surprised if you try that out, that one of us gives you a call, or my sponsor or somebody gives you a call, because we like to welcome people in and see if you have any questions. So if you like personalized service, you're gonna love that. So I'm gonna cut that off. Rod, stick around for a second. I'm gonna turn off the live broadcast, but I want to talk to you for a second. And I appreciate you guys for coming, watching. If you're watching later on, that's great as well. And I want to just tell you to have a great day. And I wish you every success in whatever your journey, your online journey, your business journey brings your way. So thanks a lot. Want to say goodbye, Rod?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep. Okay.